coming to our presentation. I'm Izumi, the main speaker for this presentation. And Jill?
Hello, nice to be with you.
Yeah, she is my client mother and co-presenter today. First, we'd like to express our great sympathy to people suffering from COVID-19 and gratitude to frontline workers. We'd also like to voice our appreciation to the Congress Committee for organizing this alternative online Congress for everyone. The title of our presentation is Hear a Silenced Voice, a story of a man who suffered from mutism, differentiated self, and integrated self, and beyond. The presentation is based on the case study of one of my clients, along with my exploration of music therapy theories. In this presentation, I will talk from a music therapist point of view, and
I'll give you the fabulous insights from a mother's point of view. I'll also speak on behalf of Luke too. I'll give you his viewpoint as well. And this is lovely Luke.
Hello, Luke.
And also with us is Fiona, who's one-on-one support. Hi.
Hi, Fiona. Thank you for being here with us. Okay, let's get started. First, I'd like to introduce Stiegler's statement about music therapy practice, theory, and research, as I'm fascinated by the relationship between these elements. As seen on this slide, Stiegler argues that theoretical insights and key research questions emerge from practical contexts. My curiosity with regard to theory and research always seemed to emerge from my practice. Music therapy practice acts as a trigger for my exploration of theories. Consequently, my exploration of theories motivates my research. So, in this presentation, I'd like to showcase both practice and theory and their relationship as I see it. Now, I'd like to introduce two theories to serve as a framework for examining this case study, whereby this case study also serves to justify these two theories. The first theory on the left side of the slide relates to one's sense of self. Csikszentmihalyi, a founder of flow theory, advocated the concept of differentiated self and integrated self that develop through flow experience. A flow state is when people are fully absorbed in an activity and nothing else matters at the time. Social psychologists also propose these opposed sense of selves. Both Csikszentmihalyi and social psychologists argue that these aspects of self are fundamental facets of psychological health. The second theory on the right side is ecological systems theory, one that has been widely adopted in many health science fields. It consists of the idea that a person's development is affected by everything in their surrounding environment. According to Brucia, helping individual and ecology to relate to one another harmoniously makes both healthier. So I'd like to see individual as a whole and also as part of larger whole. I'd like to explain the first theory and then begin with the first half of the case study, which is 2006 to 2011. The concept detailed on this slide is a combination of flow theory and social psychology. Differentiation and inner integration are concepts drawn from flow theory, and social integration is derived from social psychology. Differentiation is a movement towards a sense of uniqueness. I want to be different from others as a unique person. Inner integration is about inner harmony. I want to feel united with myself and the world in my mind. Social integration is a movement towards a sense of unity through social interactions, while inner integration can be achieved without actual interaction. In my practice, I provide individual, group, and community music therapy in order to meet each client's different needs with regard to differentiation and integration. And to respond to these changing needs with time, as they develop. Now I'd like to focus on the case study of my client Luke. Jill, could you please introduce Luke to everybody?
Luke is a 32-year-old young man now who actually has joined the real world, which has been fabulous. He was born with an extremely rare eye condition called microphthalmia or anophthalmia, which is an environmental cause. As a little boy, he lived in various countries as a little expatriate who was jerked around from America to England, back to America, and then finally to Australia when he turned 12. And it was during this time, on his return to Australia, that the mutism became a big problem. He was actually quite anxious and withdrawn, and he really didn't want to get involved with anybody. He just shut down and closed off, and he just wasn't involved. Then at age 18, he started music therapy, and that was a new road back to life.
Thanks, Jill. We will present Luke's case looking at individual, group, and community music therapy, firstly in relation to the first theory. Through his music therapy, we worked towards fostering within Luke a positive sense of self and to assisting him in reclaiming his social life. In the latter of the presentation, we'll introduce the rest of his case study, focusing on his stages of increased social interactions, therapies, and activities. And this will be related to the second theory.
The following is a very interesting recording of Luke speaking as a little 8-year-old. It's not the best quality, so we've included a transcript for you to follow what he's trying to say.
I'll put the pig away, Lucy, so you don't like it. I'm scared. Oh, I'll put the pig down. I'll put it in the cage. Well, I'm scared. Should I give the pig away to somebody else? Poor child? Like a poor child? He's so scary. I put the paw on. I'll put it away. Yeah, I'll put the pig away. You said, wow, I'm scared, wow.
We got back into the country in 2000, and that is the year that Luke, the onset of mutism happened. Luke slowly shut down to a whisper, and then he began to withdraw from everybody. He then began to shut down all his emotions, and then he actually physically shut down by actually folding up onto the floor in the fetal position and not wanting to interact with anybody. He just hid in his hands, and if you took him out, he'd fall on the ground in a pile and not want to talk to anybody.
This is a moment when Luke and I really connected through music after 1 year of music therapy. At first, he always had his head down, but during music, he came out of his shell, raised his head up, and smiled. Welcome to music. Shall we play music today?
Just recently reviewed Luke playing the wind chime, and that was very interesting for me because I could see that he had stopped thinking about himself in that session, and he reached out and touched it, and then he thought, hey, this is very nice, and he joined Izumi in playing, and then he got lost in the moment there. You could see he completely lost all his anxieties and hang-ups in that session. He just interacted with her in that session.
Luke became more open to communication through gestures and music since then, despite having his head down before starting music. Which one do you like? You want to try this one? Yes. Which one do you like? Both? This one? Yeah? Okay. Luke preferred to use body movements rather than play instruments. He seemed to recognize that I would play the keyboard to closely match his moods and movements. When I was able to follow his sudden change in physical movement, he would grin. At that time, I really felt that the music I played needed to totally match him. To me, at least, this was a way of making Luke's silenced voice audible. And to Luke, it might be a way of being acknowledged his presence and being. Later on, I had what I took to be a similar subjective experience as a client within a music therapy setting. After almost a year, Luke gradually stopped body percussion and returned to playing instruments with great enthusiasm. I also started to invite Luke's family members to his sessions in order to create small, non-threatening social occasions. It was so nice to see them have fun together again through music. During the second year of music therapy, Luke started to exhale loudly into the microphone and whisper simple words with one syllable. He also occasionally vocalized a short sound in music therapy sessions.
So we watched him progress from totally isolated, not wanting to be involved at all, to moving through the individual sessions, to modified group sessions, which were critical, and they were controlled, and he was in control, but he was also in control of deciding whether he wanted to continue those sessions, to moving out into community sessions. But at the same time, we must always be aware that he knew what was happening out in the real world via the media and that. So I suppose being part of the concerts too, he probably considered himself a bit of a rock star. So that made him feel pretty good about himself.
As Stu explained beautifully, through individual, group, and community music therapy, Luke seems to develop a positive sense of self and became able to socialize with others once again. Now, I'd like to introduce you to the second theory, Bronfenbrenner's Ecological Systems Theory. According to this theory, the process of human development is shaped by the interaction between an individual and their environment. The theory identifies 5 environmental systems with which an individual interacts, both directly and indirectly. I was encouraged to discover that Bruscia had adapted ecological systems theory to music therapy theory and practice. I have found what he has written on this subject to be helpful and inspiring in both my music therapy practice and theoretical understanding. According to Bruscia, in ecological practice in music therapy, the client may be an individual or group who is considered in terms of the various contexts and environments in which she lives, or the client may be the various contexts themselves, such as the family, workplace, institution, community, government, society, culture, or physical environment. Thus, targets of change, or the outcomes of music therapy may be individual clients and or any of the ecological frames. In Luke's case, targets of change can be either Luke himself, Luke's family, relatives and friends, therapists, teachers and support workers, people involved in Luke's regular activities, Luke's community, culture, society, government, basically any people and environments that influence Luke in some degree, as well as being influenced by Luke to some degree, either directly and indirectly. Now, I'll address the latter half of Luke's case, which is 2012 to 2020. Luke's social circle has widened during this time, through music and in other areas of his life. I'd like to introduce some of these social connections in order to examine how these social circles have influenced Luke and vice versa. Luke joined the Yukari community band that I organized as part of a community program. He's been performing with the band members at various concerts.
The first time I joined the ukulele band, I was so moved by the smiles on the faces of the disabled members. Watching the concert was not only impressive, but very heartwarming as well, which then made me really want to join and be involved. They gave me power and motivation. So through this experience, my thinking towards disabled has changed.
Luke is still a bit of a mystery to me. It's often challenging to try to understand what he's thinking and feeling during the drum lessons, but I have noticed that when he's treated with respect and talked to like a normal human being, he seems to respond well to that.
Luke and I are grading a zucchini. Luke, you've got to go like this. Like, can you do that? Like a brush. Try it. Well, for me, I feel that, it took a while, but I understood that, I defeated my own sufferings, and I understood that to support people and everything like that. You have to put a lot of good into the world, and like I really see Luke for what it is, you know, like there's a reason why he was born this way, and it was to show us how to live, you know, and that's what I truly believe. And like I wanted to put all my effort and like everything that I'm capable of into Luke so he can thrive, and then everyone can really see what he's capable of, you know, like it's amazing. Like I don't know if I'm the only one that's seeing it, but I have to fight for it, you know. That's yeah. Hold on. And then with the same movement, okay? I'm gonna do it a few times, and then you have to copy.
Hold up here. Put your leg up and over. High, 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 high.
As Luke's personal support worker for the last 6 years, I have noticed the improvement and confidence in Luke and ability to try and do new things. His anxiety issues due to his heightened sensitivity to sounds and different environments was a big problem. It took years, using a constant and repetitive approach, which led us to new adventures using exercise equipment, bushwalking, going to shopping centres and walking the dog. I asked Luke to communicate with people that serve us at the shops by saying hi, thanks, bye. This approach, with involvement from his therapist, has helped Luke heaps.
Luke's painting and general artistic skills have blossomed due to the guidance and support of Luke's art mentor. This is from a short film about Luke's visual art. A joint improvisation created by Luke and me in one of his music therapy sessions was used in the soundtrack.
A Guide Through Abstraction showcases an impressive collection of Luke's colourful, expressive abstract paintings, a testament to his personal and professional development as an artist who is blind. It's true that every artist has their challenges, and there's no hiding the fact that Luke faces a myriad of challenges in day-to-day life, but it's the way Luke is overcoming these challenges through his art that is truly admirable and worth celebrating. Congratulations, Luke, on a stunning first solo exhibition. Let's give Luke a huge round of applause.
Amazing. A young man who's now caught on film and also contributed to the soundtrack. He is now a superstar artist, musician, and attending a film festival function, which he would never have attended before. He was too nervous.
All right, Azimi, we're ready.
Okay. Fly, don't bother me. Fly, don't bother me. Fly, don't bother me. I don't want your company. In this period of isolation related to the COVID-19 pandemic, many therapeutic interventions have had to shift to an online format, my own business included. Since having to do this, I have discovered many positive potentials that exist through working in this way, despite the variety of drawbacks and limitations. This is an example of one of them. For the first time, I just virtually hopped into one of Luke's art sessions via Zoom, in reaction to a live video that Jill had just sent me. It was wonderful to play a part in this collaboration of therapeutic arts for Luke, which, in this instant, came together so naturally and seamlessly.
Look, Azimi.
That's cool!
That was the one that was on the drum.
That is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Luke's mutism has been a long-term condition. Despite this diagnosis, he has been using his whispered voice to verbalize single syllables for over 10 years, both in music and at home. However, this only seems to occur when he is asked to mimic or repeat a specific word, or when he is asked to answer simple questions. No spontaneous speech or sentence construction has occurred despite his enthusiastic attitude. He used to make simple sentences before mutism, like, I don't wanna go, I am scared. I have begun to consider that his mutism might be not only psychogenic but also possibly a functional neurological condition related to his brain and body being unable to send and receive certain signals. In music therapy practice, we have started to adapt approaches in consideration of both these psychological and physical aspects. I sometimes use food and call it a yummy session, which Luke seems to enjoy. He is encouraged to vocalize the name of each specific food to respond as to whether or not he likes to eat it and to make a choice using speech. The presence of food stimulates sense of smell and taste, and also the desire to eat. It is hoped that using food in this way might serve as a trigger for spontaneous speech. We also use a deep breathing exercise as one of these physical approaches. Yummy one. So Friday is a yummy one. Okay, looky, yummy session. So it's
We've got avocado,
my favorite.
tomato,
Yeah,
grape,
yeah,
and blackberry.
blackberry. So next one is my favorite actually. Shall we sing avocado? It's long. Apple, apple. Good. Sing loud apple. Oh, good. Sing soft apple. Much soft. Good. Apple. That's beautiful. You're so good at saying 2 syllables and even 3 syllables sometimes. It's getting so much better. Do you want to eat grapes? Yes or no? Do you want to eat grapes? Yes, that's right. Really want to eat grapes? Yes or no?
Really want to eat that?
Yeah, good, clear. Okay, great, eating time. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Eat grapes. Yum, 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 yum. Choo, choo, choo. Eat grapes. Yay! Yummy! Choosing one. Was it? Alright, I'm gonna ask you, Luke, which do you wanna eat? Grapes or apple? Grape? Apple. Oh, very straight. Apple. That's good. Now it's in the end of the session, so I wanna do breathe in and then groan. Oh, and breathe out and groan at the same time. Oh. Again, breathe in. Okay. And groan. Good, breathe out. And groan as well. Breathe in. And groan.
That's pretty good.
That's good. And breathe in. Breathe in. And groan.
Use your voice.
Oh.
And breathe. So you don't have to wait for someone to ask you, and you can ask someone.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And you can do whatever you want to do when you want to do. Because everyone else is so kind. If you request, everyone just prepare anything for you immediately. So.
As soon as we said, we'll all jump about for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, shall we try? So what you would, I just am wondering what kind of things you want to request the most? Say brekkie or lunch, or how about you want to say you want to go for a walk, or you want to walk? Ah, good. Let's do walk. Shall we sing walk? Think softer walk. Much softer walk. Walk, very
Yes, you
good.
understand. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, but show me that one. What are you saying with your hand?
Okay.
This is cake.
Cake. Okay, let's do cake.
Cake and stop it.
Yeah, good. Okay. Shall we sing cake? Cake. Sing louder cake. Good. Sing softer cake. Much softer cake. Beautiful. Now you can get cake anytime you want. Good. All right, let's do shop.
You have to go shopping for the cake.
Yeah, that's right.
Shopping for the cake. Oh,
Yeah, good, good.
God.
Okay.
Here we are showing Lukey having a go with his speech, and whatever he learns in the session room, he then takes outside, and we all reinforce what he's trying to say so that we all work as a team.
You have to say veggies, please. Veggies. Please. Okay, you got it.
Very good, Luke.
Very good. There you go. Look, you got potatoes and everything in there now.
Lukey, do you want to thank Timmy for that?
Yeah.
Do you want to say it with your voice? Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
It's very good. You're trying really hard.
Give the card. Say happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy.
Thank you, Luke.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you, Luke. Give him a hug. Hug.
So being the youngest meant that I don't have very clear memories or any memories of Luke actually speaking, but I just have the stories. So in my lifetime, I've just seen Luke go from complete like hermitage in his own mind to like actually coming out of his shell because of the influence of like everybody else around him. And so seeing like and watching the videos of him talking and seeing him now start to talk is kind of opened my idea of what he is capable of. I always knew he had it in him, but he wasn't confident enough to speak it, I think.
Luke's grandfather's 90th birthday party was a significant event for Luke and the family last year.
Grandpa's birthday. What an amazing event. We progressed from being a very frightened little person to being quite engaged with everybody and to perform in front of them. He'd gone from just having a very tight-knit bunch of people around him supporting him to slowly widen his circles to be able to be brave enough to perform in front of distant relatives who hadn't seen him for 5 years and weren't expecting to see him do such an amazing job. He was really proud of himself and he progressed hugely.
My theoretical exploration is still a work in progress, and I am currently pursuing it through my PhD study at Western Sydney University. This is my research design, which I'm still working on. Thank you for joining our presentation today. I've been learning and thinking so much through Luke's case, and I'd like to keep changing and evolving as one of the targets of change in music therapy.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for listening to this interesting case. And I'm sure Luke would like to thank everyone as well for listening.
Beautiful.
And also we'll end the presentation with a lovely photo of Luke with his feet on 2 continents, Australia and Africa.
That's right. Okay, and if you have any questions or comments, please email us at this address on the screen. Okay, thank you. Bye. Beautiful. Thank you, Luke.